Hello, guys, and welcome to our next podcast. Carrying on from our last one about games and what happened to games. On this one, I don't know. I want to talk about a little bit the alphabet of games. And what I mean by alphabet, I mean alpha, beta, open beta, closed beta, open alpha, closed alpha, pre-alpha, preview, pre-launch, pre-stream, all those kind of things that it feels like companies are finding again excuses to hide behind those alphabet letters. They're finding an excuse to give us a half complete game because they have no idea what they're doing. They have no plan, no direction. And although those stages, and don't take me wrong, they are necessary. I mean, an alpha to get some initial feedback, to test a few things is required, is a necessity in the developing process, the same as betas and open and closed betas, and they've always been around. My kind of like problem I have recently with all those is the fact that most of them just not done the way they used to be. What I mean is they come out with an alpha and they claim, this is alpha and it has a lot of bugs. We know you should try it and we want some feedback in order to move forward. My issues are two. One, they don't have a clear idea what they want to do. So they're like, okay, we've made something, let's throw it out there. And if it goes well, we'll carry on. If it doesn't, we'll just scrape it and restart again. And that was kind of like what happened with New World when they brought the preview out and the game was really based on PvE quests to level up and then PvP. That's it. There were no dungeons, no, a lot of other things in there. And people were like, what the fuck is this? And they took some time out. Whether that was used properly, what I mean is they said due to coronavirus, we're going to postpone the launch and this and that. And then they came out with a totally different game in a lot of aspects. Not complete. I mean, they're recycling creatures and mobs from level 1 to level 60. They are recycling them. It's the same zombies with different names or more HP. They don't have a variety and all this. Simply because they've changed the model from the alpha and the preview to something completely different. Well, back in the day, they already would have a plan. They would have done the research on the market, what they want to do, and then they would just build and improve according to feedback on that plan they had for the game, not change the whole game. So it feels like they're hiding behind alphas and betas when it comes to responsibility and what they want. Not to mention that I remember betas, they had, or alphas, the companies were hiring people as testers, game testers, to hunt down the bugs, write the ports, tell them what's wrong, and then they will, on the alpha part, and then on the beta, the testers that they paid, they will still carry on with that, but they will also give it to more people to see what the audience would have think. And that's how it used to be. They would do a competition, you get some keys, according if your system can handle it, so they could do different tests on different systems, and so on and so forth. But now the alphas and betas is another way to make money, the same way the cash shops and all that. They're like, we are having a closed beta, okay? So it's closed to those that don't have money, because to participate on the closed beta, you have to pre-order the game or buy the game, or anything like that. You can't get any way else, or you can watch streams these days and they give out free keys if you're lucky, which is another promotional thing. And how is that closed? I mean, you're just closing out what? You're trying to divide the people that want to play the game into people that have money and people that have not money. So you want to grab the ones with money by, putting in front of the faces the carrot called closed beta. It's closed what? The people don't have money. I thought closed beta was, we're going to select some people that have some skills or certain computer systems to test our game. Not, we're going to close our doors so people don't have money. Same with alpha. I mean, personally, I would love to try Ashes of Creation, for example. It's an alpha and there has a lot of problems. But in order for me to do so, $500. I'm excluded because I don't have $500. I would understand if I didn't have the system, computer system, GPU, CPU, and all that stuff to test a game. So we're going again to this social aspect coming into the games, the have money and the don't have money, the poor and the rich, and it goes like that. Because you could be poor but save a lot of money and bought a good computer system so you can participate in betas, saved up for a long time when you did it, but you can't have $500 for one, $200 for the other, $60 for the other every other week, I mean, it's like buying all these games. They're putting us on this little trip that, yeah, it's the normal. You have to pay the company to try the game. Why don't they pay me? I mean, seriously, if that is the case, I want to hire testers. I don't want to hire testers. Sorry. I want to be hired by testers. I want to be hired by the people that have a lot of money and give me $500. I'll give you a game from Steam, early access, free to play, and you can test it. Just give me the money. I'll give you every single game online for you guys to try. I'll give you suggestions of game to try. All right. I'll find all the free ones so you don't have to give any extra money. Damn, I'll even buy the subscription for you. Right? $200 each. I'll give you games to test. I can do that as a profession. I'll recommend for you games to try out. You just pay me and I'll give you my recommendations. That's basically what companies are doing right now. Here's an idea. Give me $60. You can try out. If it's good, I'll carry on. If it's not good, I'll just put it on the bin and reform it to something that you might like. And then I'm going to charge you again. Or I'm going to charge those that haven't actually been on the game yet. I don't know. These alpha, betas, they're needed for development, but I wish we could go back to the good old times when companies were paying people. Unemployment is raging, and instead of providing more jobs, as companies say, we care about our communities. Well, if you care, we have so many people unemployed that play games all day, that have experience and don't know what to do. Give them a freaking job to feed the family while testing your game that's going to make you money. But no, we have become the employers of the companies. We pay them to give us something to test, and if it's good. And they're hiding behind all those because we tried games before on betas, and they were really good. We could see the potential and the hard work they put in there, and then we tried games on betas, and they're really crap. And when some people like me say, "Oh, this is really shit," they need to really look into this, and then people come out and say, "Oh yeah, okay, it has potential, but it's beta." I mean, every game has potential. Every human being has potential. The question is whether it's not about identifying the potential as a player. The question here is if the company sees the potential, if the company realizes what that potential is, and above all, if they're going to utilize that potential. Do they want to utilize the potential? Put the effort in taking that game and take it to the heavens, to the moon, or they just want to say, you know what, that's too much effort to utilize that potential because it was a great idea, a brilliant idea. Let's just put a cash up on that one and let's roll it from closed alpha to open alpha and see how many people are going to pre-order the game. And if it goes well, let's add a few more fancy things into it and let's roll to a closed beta, do some streams, see how that goes and grab some more money and move on. And I know that I may sound really pessimistic, but it is, the gaming world is really bleak. And besides all the alphas and the betas, you can see the degradation. Check Blizzard, what's going on with harassments and games. I was recently in other games. The companies just don't care. I will do another podcast, possibly with some video, to show how in my opinion anyways, a company can show to people whether they care for them or they don't care for them, depending how accessible things are on things. But this podcast is about the alphas and the betas, and we do get a lot of alphas, a lot of betas, and now we're also getting the early access ones, which also, you have to pay for them. Early access in the game, you pay. Alpha, you pay. Pre-alpha, you pay. Closed alpha, you pay. Open alpha, you pay. Open, closed, beta, you play. Pre-launch, you pay. I mean, if you're gonna pay all that money, depending what stage they are, I mean, definitely, okay, don't take me wrong, you only pay once. You pre-order the game once and you get access to alphas and betas and all that in one. But here's my question about all this, because some of those games come from Kickstarter where you give them the money before they even start. All right? Before they have alpha gameplay, before. I mean, there's no, as far as I can tell, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I haven't seen any legislation or anything that says, a Kickstarter should have some sort of economic portfolio or explanation how this thing is going to be viable, how your money is going to be used, and when it goes wrong, people say, yeah, well, we didn't make it, it was alpha, or we're sorry. It's used as an excuse for creating mediocre and half-thought ideas. And unfortunately, there's a lot of games out there who are half-thought ideas, or they're transferred. That's another thing. You transfer the things from the PlayStation to the PC, or from the PC to PlayStation very roughly, and then expect to be a hit, without any alphas, without any betas, because they're already been tested in one machine or the other. So I don't know. It's a strange gaming world out there, and unless we get some pressure as players onto the companies, or the companies realize that they are losing a lot of players, and they're just, they're putting all the money in creating one game after the other, where they're just making a little bit of money, or they're breaking even, and then move on to the next one, when they could be spending a little bit more time and make a much, much better game and make a lot more money. Maybe I'm wrong on this, because I want a game like that I can invest my time. Maybe they feel like, we're spending 10, we're making 20 on the cash shop, then we make another one and we're good. I don't know what to tell you guys, but I honestly feel that the people, the gamers, the players, the streamers, especially the big streamers, they need to really start putting some pressure onto this. Be like very honest about the gameplay, and not say, oh, it's free to play, so it's okay. Oh, it was beta, it's okay. No, it's not okay. We need to identify, of course, if it's a beta or an alpha, that it's gonna lack things. But when it's lacking basic, for example, a game comes out on alpha and you can't move your character, well, that's not an alpha thing. That is a stupid thing, or your character gets stuck everywhere. That's really not an alpha thing. I mean, alpha should be at least able to walk around. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just that I feel that despite the whole money grabbing thing, this alpha and beta coverage that people do and hide in that excuses of being alpha and beta, it's also a way for them to test the waters. Test the water and see, oh, is this idea going to fly? Is this not going to fly? Where, in my opinion, it should be, I have this idea. It's well thought from start to end. This is how the combat's going to work. This is how the PvE is going to work. This is what dungeons we're going to have, how the crafting, the trading is going to work and all this. And I'm going to make that because that's my dream, right? That's my vision for the game. And on alpha and beta, I'm just going to improve on those ideas. Not do alpha and betas, which I have done, and then change my vision, change my plan. I mean, how do these creators feel when they have an idea and they show it to people halfway through? Maybe it's not their choice, maybe it's the company's, the CEO's choice to show this halfway through the idea, when it's not visualized fully, when it's not prepared fully. And of course, it cannot be understood fully by the players and the testers and the alphas and the betas and all these guys. And they get this massive feedback saying, oh, this is really shit, this is crap, this is not going to work, this. And it goes back to the creators that have the idea, and they see their baby being mutated and changed by the feedback, because then the money comes in and the CEOs come in and the manager comes in and say, no, we've got to take your idea, which was good, really, but we need to change it in that direction that people want, where we don't even know if the original idea, if fully developed and came out a little bit later, it would be even better, or needed, less changes and keep it more into the vision of the original creator of the world. It might have been a better game. Because don't forget, like that's the whole point originally for having alphas and betas, to get feedback from people and see if you're doing, not to change your content, but to modify it, as in to improve. You have a crafting system that works in a certain way, not to take feedback and change it, but say, okay, you know what, this UI is not very good, you just need to modify this a little bit, not change the whole thing and say, oh, we had wood crafting, but oh well, it wasn't going very well, people didn't like it, so we're only going to have stone cutting, just remove the whole thing and change it. Or say, this is meant to be a full PvP game, and then you have the idea and the mechanism there for damage on the weapons, breaking down and trading and blacksmith repairing and amplifying weapons. And then you do an alpha, which that was halfway done. It was really bad because everything was breaking. People say no, we don't want this, and then you just remove all that. That's not the idea, at least for me, for alpha or beta. The idea is to show people what you want to do, your vision, and improve on it, not change it completely. Unfortunately, most games right now, they're just changing completely, giving me the idea that they used alphas and beta for testing the water for an idea they had without having the complete vision in front of them of what they want to do. They don't know what they want to do. And that is the scary thing. Having companies trying to make games for you with good gameplay and have fun in them when they don't even know what they want to do to be fun. Because they don't thinking about fun, they don't thinking about gameplay. They're thinking more of a marketing way of what are they going to like for us to make money. So let's throw them in alpha and see what's going to happen. And let's throw them in beta. And also let's hype it very much, right? And, give them dates. It's going to come out next month. It's going to come in 2 months. And people are hyped. And, it's going to come out. I need to buy the pre-alpha now so I can try it before it comes out. And I'm really excited. And then... they come around, that was just the beta, and we realize we're missing this, we're missing that, and we need more time and more time. So we're going to give more time to people to buy more of our game and make more money until we'll see if we're actually going to go in this direction. And they just hide behind alphas and betas not being complete. I do understand that problems come up in games. I do understand that things can be delayed. I mean, we're all humans. Things like this happen. It's just that for most companies that I have personally encountered with delays in alphas and betas between 2020 and 2021, the way their announcements come out to the world saying we're delaying this, or we know this didn't work out, or our service didn't hold, or whatever the problem was to announce a delay, the way they phrase things, the way they say things, it honestly feels like an excuse. An excuse, not an honest representation of why they're actually delaying it. I would rather have a company say, look, we're delaying this because we want to give you a better product, instead of a company say, we're delaying this because coronavirus. We are delaying this because we feel that the game, it needs a little bit more, or we need to read more of your reviews and make sure we have everything you want. They just don't feel a bit superficial. I prefer if a company says, look, we thought we're going to be ready, we overestimated our capabilities. That's an honest thing to say. Or, we thought we solved the problem, but shit happened and we added some code and screwed it up and now we have to redo a part. That's more honest than, we're still reading your reviews and we want to add anything you want. It does sound good, but it also sounds like a big excuse. Like, yeah, we're going to read this. While we're reading this, let us fix some other shit we're not telling you about. I don't know. I feel that honestly goes a lot better than that. Maybe it's the phrasing of the word to use. Maybe it is the things. Because like on pre-alpha, for example, on New World and preview, and later on, when we had, during those stages, we also had the discussions online on Twitter and official things about the shop. And I bring this up just for the warning that they say we're not going to add any boost or things that give a benefit to players in 2021. And then some people came out and said, they're not going to add anything pay to win into the shop. But if you're really careful, it says until the end of 2021. But the question is, what happens once the game launches, comes out of alpha and beta and closed beta after that? So the same way, I'm trying not to get sidetracked about alphas and betas, but they all kind of interlinked there. You see how we go from alphas and betas from the original idea to a whole different game, how we use alphas and betas into excuses to delay games, to change games, to grab money, and to get an idea of what people are going to want in the shop, in the other shop, not for the improvement of the game, but how we're going to grab more money out of it. And this is what gets me about all this. Honestly, closing this podcast, if a company is really going to do something, I would recommend they start with alpha and they launch the game after omega. go from alpha to beta to gamma, delta, epsilon, and move on all the way to the 24 letters of the Greek alphabet. And when you're satisfied that the game is good, perfect for people to play, perfect means like 99%, 95% complete, the way you want it, the way you envision it, right? Then do a freaking test and call it, I don't know, Omega 1 after everything is done, for people to have a look. Then take yourselves another 3 months to make any adjustments, not change the whole freaking game, and then launch it. And take the responsibility of the launch, that this is it, people. This is our vision. This was what we wanted the game to do, and it's doing what we wanted, not what 3 billion people wanted. And you're going to say, what's wrong about adding what people want? It is wrong up to a certain amount of degree, because can you imagine a game that has, what, 3 or 5,000, I'm not going to go any higher than that number around the world, 5,000 people want, like 5,000 different wants in a game? It's a mess. It is a mess. That's why we do the alphas and betas, to collect and, you know, sieve through and get the what most people want. But imagine if they actually added what everybody wanted. The game would just be a mess. Anyways, in closing, I just want to say I hope that the company is going to stop using alphas and betas to make money. They're going to stop using alphas and betas to change the games. I hope companies will come up with an idea for a game, a plan, implement it, finish it, test it, and deliver. Not test and test and test and test and change and change and change. And that's it. That's it. I don't know. I'm a bit pissed off with the gaming world. You can tell that. Anyways, I hope I'm giving you a little bit more food for thought for food, whatever the expression is, for you guys to think a little bit about this kind of situation we are dealing as gamers. And I'll see you later.